Hey everybody, it's Kate Beaters. Welcome to Brilliance Builders Training. Oh, I always seem to forget to do this. There we go. Sorry about that. We had crazy internet. I think it's because we've got some crazy winds outside. We've got really amazing weather here in Boston, but the winds are just really loud and noisy and all that. So I'm starting a bit late because it took me this long just to actually get some decent internet, and I'm here in Boston, so who knows. Anyways, I've got an amazing topic for today's Facebook Live training, and I'm really, really excited for you because it's things that you really need to know if you want to grow your business. And I have my handy dandy notes here, and all set to share with you. If you've got a piece of paper, great. I'm going to teach you today 3 traits that highly successful salespeople have. And you're probably wondering, well, Kate, I'm an entrepreneur. Why do I really care about this? Like, I'm not working for some Fortune 500 company on their sales team, and I really care. And I get that, but understand that you as an entrepreneur, if you want people to buy your services, your products, your programs, whatever the heck it is, you have to know how to sell. There's no other way around it. You have to learn how to sell. And so I want to just kind of inspire you with 3 traits that every successful salesperson I know has them. Things I believe I have too, and I want to share with you to kind of help put you on path for this. And I just want to, before we get going, just make sure this is working correctly. So I'm checking. Yep, looks like I am there. Okay, great. Okay, cool. So what you want to think about, which is really, really important to know, is that, when I was in corporate and business development, and a lot of my clients were law firms in downtown Boston, and here there were these, men and women, that now they've been to like Harvard or wherever law school they went to, Cornell, something, on the East Coast, or Stanford on the West Coast, and they're here working in a law firm in Boston, and they figured that would be enough, right? Like, they'd be riding their magic carpet ride off to success and all that. And what started happening, my last few years of corporate, is that these guys and women, no matter how smart or how high, top of the class they graduated, or Harvard Law Review, whatever, they were being told, actually kind of orders from like managing partners, that, hey, they better start bringing in their own business, which meant they had to learn how to sell. So here, they really struggle with it because that's not what they were taught in law school. They were taught how to, about torts and laws and the Constitution and courts and systems and all that kind of stuff. But they weren't taught how to go sell. So you can imagine for these people who were getting all worried about straight A's and passing the bar, and all of a sudden they have to go out and sell. Well, it's the same for you as an entrepreneur, that you've got to learn how to do that too. So that's what you're going to notice my focus is really for the next few months, and probably the whole year is really focusing a lot on that. So again, welcome if you're just joining me. I'm Kate Beaters, founder of Brilliance Builders, and today we're focusing on 3 traits that every successful salesperson must have. And if you're here, please say hello. Let me know who you are, where you're from, all that. I see Erica, you're there. Michelle, you're there. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you guys are. Tatiana, if you're watching, I'm doing this off my iPhone because I know you just messaged me, so I'm here doing this. So I will chat with you after. But I want you to really think about this. So here are the 3 traits I want to share with you. And the first one is that you have to create connection and collaboration. Okay? And what that's doing is you're creating a partnership, because you may have heard that old expression that people buy from people that they know, like, and trust. And if you're not able to create that, if you just go right at this whole sales thing, you're going to lose them. So if this is making sense, please do a like or a heart or whatever. It's really fun when you're doing sales, you're doing Facebook training, to see these things come floating across like little fishes in the sea. But please check that off. So what I want you to think about is, are you doing that when you're on your phone calls? Are you allowing that space to really create connection, or are you just going right at that sales pitch? Okay, so I want you to think about that for a moment, because that's number 1. Because sales has really changed. It isn't so much like how it used to be years and years ago, where it's all about, kind of like the person on the used car lot trying to sell you this junker. It's like, here, buy it, buy it, buy it. It only has 92 million miles on it. It has 4 tires. Buy it for $100. I mean, you really want to create connection and collaboration to create that partnership. I don't know about you, but the thing I always look for is I'm very much about relationship. I'm very much looking for not just one-offs, like someone who buys a program and then they're gone, but really that they become part of my community and they grow, and they, you know, even my clients tell me like they watch me grow, and it's we're here together, and they bring their friends in, I bring my support people in, and we just have this big, huge, amazing thing that continues to grow. So that's number one. So, oh, and hey, Kim, greetings from you're in Greenville. So keep sending us some sunshine and all that from North Carolina. So number two, this is huge. This is going to freak all you guys out because it's not what you're going to be expecting me to say. So when I first was in sales, and we used to sell these multi-million-dollar deals. Whatever the client would ask, we'd be like, yep, we can do that. Yep, we can do that. Yep, we can do that. And it was always yes, 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 yes. Whatever the client wanted, we could say yes. Now, when you work for a big, huge company, that's one thing, right? If you're working for a multi-million-dollar company, maybe something that has lots and lots of people, it's easy to say yes because you can move things around, you can make things happen, and we definitely did. But what I want you to think about as an entrepreneur is I want you to learn the word no. Because this also is a really strong trait for a highly successful salesperson, is to be able to say no. It could be no to something they're asking you to do. It could be no, that they're not your ideal client. I'll share something with you that I was talking to a resource, and I was suggesting, hiring them to help me with something, and I was sending them some examples of some work that we had that we were kind of going to use, and he's like, Kate, this isn't right. He goes, you got to make this, and he wanted me to do all these tweaks to make it right too, so I would get it successful for him. Now, what I really appreciate in him is that he really said no to me. He said, no, not now, because he wanted me to get it right so I get successful results. Okay, because if he just said yes, which is kind of what salespeople think we need to do, is just say yes, 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 then what happens is all of a sudden, the person's not going to get the results that they're looking for because you've said yes and you shouldn't have said yes. So I want you to think about it. How often have you said no? And so, hi everybody. Hi Tatiana. And if this is resonating with you guys, please click like or do the hearts or any of that kind of stuff and share it with your friends. But really think about that. Are you able to say no? And I know that's so hard. But are you able to say no when someone is asking for something? And it's just, yeah, I got 2 thumbs up for Tatiana, because that's hard, right? We just want to say yes to everybody, and it goes into a whole lot of mindset stuff, which I'll be talking about, going forward. But just think about that. Are you able to say no? Are you able to kind of trust your gut? And we've all taken on clients. I mean, I have, I'm sure you guys have, afterwards we're like, I won't use the word, but we're like, why do we do that, right? And so it's being able to say no, to be able to set some parameters around who your ideal client is. Okay, so that's number 2. So number 1, if you're joining us late, it was that you're able to create connection and collaboration, create a really nice long-term partnership with clients. The second one is that you're able to say no. The third one, and this is also really, really huge, is that you don't take things personally. So this is really, really hard for so many of us, because when somebody says no to us or they want something that we can't do, I mean, it's our business, right? I call it my baby. It's right, our baby, and you've got to learn. I had to learn this. And one of my best teachers who taught me this is, some of you who've been following me for a while know I used to have a radio show, and I had people like Jack Canfield, Neil Donald Walsh, Marcia Shimoff, Ariel Ford, Bruce Lipton, Allie Brown, David Nagel, all sorts of really cool people on there. And Jack was on several times, and that's one of the biggest lessons I ever learned from him is when someone says no, it's next. So it's being able to not take things personally. And as entrepreneurs, again, it happens very often that when someone says no, you start looking at yourself and saying like, okay, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with my program? Maybe I'm not enough. Maybe the program's not enough. Maybe this, maybe that. And it puts all this fear and doubt into yourself. And so what I want to share with you is don't take it personally. Don't take it personally. That's so huge. And again, if this is resonating, hearts, likes, whatever, because it's so powerful, and to know that. And I see there's a comment. Oh, sure, Scott. Good. I don't know what time zone you're in, but good morning or good afternoon. So what I was just sharing is the three traits that every entrepreneur has. And hi, Jeff. How are you? Is that the first one is that you're able to create connection and collaboration to create a nice long-term partnership with your clients. That's so important. You know, so many people in this industry are so into one-offs. I see it on their ads, I see it on this, all these, you know, all this kind of stuff. It's like, no, create this relationship. So you help them continue to grow. They help you to continue to grow. And I mean, just as excited as I get from my clients when they see growth, and I see growth in them, is seeing the growth. They see the growth in me too. So, and they love seeing it. They're like, wow, you look what you're doing now. And it's a mutual relationship. And I really believe that's how industry is right now. Unless you're like a Fortune 500 company, but even that, and I'm going to be talking more about that in weeks to come, is shifting to how they're doing business. So number 2, and Kimberly, I said you got to work on number 2. Yeah, number 2 is huge. And number 2 is really giving yourself permission to say no. And we feel as entrepreneurs, you know, especially if you came from a corporate background like I did, it's all about saying yes, you know. It's like, yep, I can do this for you, I can do that for you, yeah, whatever, here you go. And I mean, we used to tell whatever a client wanted because we wanted that deal. I mean, that's how we called it in corporate. We wanted that deal. It was all about saying yes. And I remember early in my business, you know, being a leading EFT and tapping expert, people come to me and they wanted help with this thing or that thing, and even though they weren't really the things that lit me up, I was like, yep, sure, I'll do it, you know, especially in the beginning, right? It's all about, you know, you want to make some money, you want to get some clients, and then you get that pit in your stomach. So it's really learning to be able to say no and to be able to set boundaries. And I'm going to be talking more too over the weeks to come of how to start doing that, but really think about it, that really good salespeople will say no. And because what I firmly believe is not so much like being like a stick in the mud, like no. I've heard some people, I won't mention any names, but big name coaches, and they're like, I've got boundaries and nobody can ever cross over and you know, and to me that's not really so much what I'm saying. It's more about really having both their best interest and your best interest at heart. Because if you're able to say no, but there's a reason for it, because maybe that's not your specialty. Maybe because you don't do well doing coaching calls at 6 o'clock at night, or, you know, this thing or that thing, whatever the heck it is, or you know, whatever it is, that when you're able to say no, or you're saying that what they're giving you is not the right thing for you to help them to make them as successful, you actually win them over. I shared a story earlier for those of you jumping in late that there was a resource I was going to hire, and it's quite costly, you know, but I figured the results were worth it. It would be worth the investment. And when I sent him a sample of kind of what I want to use, and he said, Kate, you know, this still isn't right for us. And I really appreciate it, even though I was kind of disappointed, because otherwise I would invest, I wouldn't get good results. Who would I be mad at? Him, right? Not at me, never me, you know, but always mad at him. This way he's saying it's not the right thing. Here's what I suggest you do. So what happens is he becomes a winner in my eyes, right? And that makes him successful because it's actually creating even a stronger relationship. So think about how are you using that with your clients. So that's number 2. And number 3 is not taking things personally. And to me, that really came about so much, you know, hearing Jack Canfield, who's a guest on my radio show, teaching me that it's about saying, you know, not hearing no, but saying next. And realizing it doesn't make, which most entrepreneurs go into that place like they're not good enough, or their products aren't good enough, or they're too expensive, or whatever story they're telling themselves. And it's like, no, don't take it personally. It doesn't mean that there aren't things you need to tweak or shift, you know, but it doesn't mean that you have to all of a sudden assume that you're less than. And I find so many entrepreneurs go there. So I want to say, no, stop doing that. So those are 3 really, really important traits that every successful entrepreneur has. And I've got one other thing I want to share with you, but I just want to see if anybody has any questions or comments before I move on. And again, you know, if this stuff's resonating with you, please share it with your community. Let more people learn from it. So I'm just see anything else. Okay, so this I want to share with you really, really quick before we go, and this is really important to know. Did you notice that nothing I mentioned with the 3 traits had anything to do? I never talked once about your close rate. Did you guys hear that? I never once talked about your close rate. Because that's not what good salespeople focus on. So really keep that in mind, right? Start getting some of these other traits pulled into your system, your process, and all that. And notice how things shift. And again, I'm going to be really, really focused. You're going to see some really cool stuff coming out from me over the next week. I'm really excited about. So just make sure you stay tuned. Make sure you're getting my emails from kate@katebeaters.com. Well, that's my email address, but you can always email me too, but go to katebeaters.com. Make sure you're on my list. Follow me on Facebook because I've got some really, really cool stuff to share with you where I dive even deeper into this stuff. So everybody have a wonderful day, and let me know how this works for you. So until we meet again, be brilliant. Bye, everybody.